issues here. But good morning. Happy Tuesday. Hopefully the market is not kicking your butt just yet. But let me see. Let me make sure. I'm having some issues on my end, like always. But it should be. Nope. Hold on. We're going to get this set up. There's a little bit of an issue on my streaming side. Switch accounts. But I hope everybody's having a good day. Hope everybody's having a good morning. Market is definitely not the best right now. Oh, damn, this is not good. All right, so it seems like something broke on my streams and it's giving me the wrong one right now. Let me just delete the old one and this is pretty lame. All right. It's not that bad. I bought SMH. What's going on? What's going on, Ryan? What's going on, Max? Again, let me just give me a quick second to fix the stream. And hopefully we can get this show rolling for the next 40 minutes, 45 minutes. AMD, Intel stock up. Nvidia stock down. Market lunch. All right, and let me change the thumbnail real quick. But hope everybody had a great weekend. Here in Jersey, we got snow and it was pretty annoying. And my wife just told me we actually might get a little bit more snow this weekend, or a lot more snow this weekend. Good morning. Good morning. All right. So I think now we're good. All right. So now that we got this set up, I can move this to the side here. Boop, boop, boop. I'm a professional around here, guys. Can't you tell? Can't you tell? All right. Publish. Oh my goodness. Now this is definitely broken. All right, now there should be two of me's. The public chat. Can someone type on chat, see if it's working? For some reason, my thing might be broken today. Say hello on chat if you are here. If not, we'll do this the old way, but this thing is broken. All right. Can't share screw. We'll do it this way. And you pay all this money for some crazy thing, and it doesn't work, right? This is bearish AI. You pay all this money, and they couldn't get some AI engineer to be using it. All right, let me share screen now. Because I bet you guys are having so much fun here. I bet you guys are loving this live stream. Oh my goodness. Makes me want to go home and sleep. Well, I am home, but makes me want to just screen. We're going to share and start screen. All right. Now we're cooking here. We're cooking now. All right. So let me scroll this up. We're gonna look at this the average weight. So Sandy, did I do my? Can I wish I could put it in the can. So Sandy, all-time high. Did you do due diligence on CleanSpark? It was the weekend. I did not do any form of deep dive on anything this weekend. but it definitely seems. I mean, we have Nvidia down 2.7%. We have Broadcom down 3%. Ryan Walker mentions it's not too bad. It's right. It definitely isn't. I wouldn't. I'm not gonna be using this to buy. I don't know if anybody's out there buying the moment. Um, Personally, we've seen. I think these were prices last seen about a week ago, a little bit less than a week ago. So I am not personally going to be buying anything right now due to this dip. Maybe due to some other reasons, but due to the dip, I'm not buying anything. Duck Attack. What's going on, Duck Attack? Yo. Good morning. Good morning, Vinden. Um, Good morning, Jose. Good morning. What's with AMD? I don't know, right? AMD stock is definitely seeing a nice pull in here, right? Up 2.8%. This is what's happening. Yes. Now I remember. So there are reports. There are reports. Someone came out, an analyst came out earlier. I on X. I saw it on X, but let's go to x.com real quick. I saw a report on X that Meta Platforms is actually thinking of no longer going. I think it was not John something, Ju, or so there we go, Jukov. So this is an analyst from Citron in Korea, but recently he posted this, and he usually posts stuff that he finds in other research papers or investment papers, analyst papers. Meta is reportedly scaling back its ASIC plans. So Meta is reportedly not going to focus too much on its own AI chips. And instead of buying TPUs, because remember, there were rumors that TPUs were going to, Meta was looking at TPUs. It's instead going to be buying AMD's MI455X. So I think this is creating a lot of market for a lot of positive reaction for AMD. What's going on? So let's see what's going on, Jason. Johnny, is it Johnny or Joni? Johnny. I am sorry. I'm gonna mispronounce it again. Do not hate me for that. Johnny. Joannie. Oh my God, I'm horrible. I am so sorry. Yes, good morning test. Yes, it is a good morning test. Griffin Poll. Yo. Duck Attack, check. Even my dad's here. Shout out to my dad watching the live stream. It's working now. It was channel members only. It was? Oh man, that sucks. All right, so is it working? Let's see. Is everybody on? Hopefully it shouldn't be. Good morning from Silicon Valley. Good morning, AI Money. AMD signs a deal with Meta. So Ryan, yeah, that's the thing that's happening right now. We haven't heard an actual confirmation. You know, last night I was getting ready to go to bed, and I don't know. I woke up. I was going to sleep, and I was like, I don't have enough AMD. I really don't think I have enough AMD. With the market cap of $381 billion, if this AI market is as crazy as I think it is, I think we see a $1 trillion market way quicker than 4 to 5 years for AMD. I don't know what type of hypium AMD juice I drank last night, but this one is, it looks crazy. Forward PE ratios look crazy, right? 35. But I don't know. And I don't think it has to do much with the price action. I to me, it's still sitting like in the 200s. I don't think it's the fear of the price moving right now. But I think it's gonna finally have, if it's not this quarter, within the next 3 quarters, is gonna have that AI story just turn around and if yeah. All right. That's enough. That's enough hopium here or hypeness for AMD. I didn't do my AMD weekly. I didn't do my AMD weekly this past weekend. But I probably might drop it today, and I'll probably share my crazy hope for it there. Uh, what else do we have? A deal will be announced in the next 2 weeks based on X. Sandy, are we talking here about Cyber? I mean, not Cyber. Which one's the one? CleanSpark. We're talking about CleanSpark, I'm guessing. Or are you talking about AMD and Meta? Um, Duck Attack. I had some monster puts popped off this morning. Nice, Duck Attack. I don't follow this one, but that's the one that it's the Bitcoin player, right? Yeah, never. It's wild. That's crazy. Before I don't has just curious. Has Bitcoin dropped 64% since then? Right? This is this a proxy to like? I don't follow this one. This is a proxy. I know they are big into the Bitcoin miner, but down 64%. Curious. Is Coinbase down similar levels? Oh, 44%. I don't follow the crypto market, but curious to see. No. Oh, so you're better off owning the actual coins itself than any form of proxy if that's your end goal, right? If that's your end goal. But just completely off the channel's these coverage, but just curious to see there. Fuser Pro, I can't say good morning, so hi y'all. Fuser, what are you in? It's not that bad. I mean, yes, companies like Nebius are down 5.6%. But if you look in the past month, up 10%, right? Just click the month. Just click the month. And you can say good morning. Is this Europe's tariff BS? Not a broken record. I don't know. I think it's gonna create volatility, right? Because all these tariff news and the retaliation is not something that's gonna be handled in a day or two or three. Um, it's gonna take some time. So I think it's just gonna add volatility to the market. Nvidia here down 3%. How dare you? Nvidia is another one. But I don't go to sleep thinking I don't have enough Nvidia. That's one I don't. But AMD, yesterday I did go to sleep thinking I don't have enough AMD. Is this Europe tariff? But yeah, Max, I think it's going to create a lot of volatility. I mean, we have an event on Wednesday that could bring even more volatility. So we have earnings coming up. So earnings coming up with tariff news, you're going to get a lot of questions about tariffs. You're going to get a lot of management saying, we still don't know. We're just planning for this. We're going to plan for the worst. It could create a bit of a scare in the market. So volatility, I think, will continue. The great thing is, I think volatility is when opportunities arise in a lot of stocks, right? When the market is fearful, when you see a lot of the fear. So not right now, but I'm hopeful maybe we can deploy some cash later on. Shri, hello, Jose. Hello, Shri. Any thoughts on TSSI? If I may be honest, I don't know TSSI. Here showing me a market cap of $335 million. What do they do? What is their actual name? TSS Inc. Is it this guy's right here? No. TSS Inc. I'm just curious. Now, total site solution. End-to-end technology solutions for configuration to integration and deployment. It's a data center company that integrates high-performance computing. Like they just help you build a data center? As an AI infrastructure expert and a trusted OEM deployment partner, TSS stands at the forefront of modern computing. We are a proven data center integration provider with decades of success, integrating high-performance computing systems used by leading customers. So I guess if I had a massive space, a massive power shell, I go to TSS and say, help me build the data center. It's interesting. I mean, if that's true, that's an interesting market. Year to date, the stock is up 58%. I think it could be interesting if like the Bitcoin miners that just have those power shells could probably work with them. I am curious. Now you got me thinking. And remember, you guys want a great charts. And let me do this as well. Come on. I'm a noob right now. Just give me one quick second. I have to obviously promote um, platform. This sucks today with this thing not working. Brand. If you guys want great deep dives on the AI and semiconductor market, make sure to check out What the Chip Happened. But let's go here and use code 2026 for 33% off. So TSS, 300 and they're not making much money, right? I mean, financials. Let's go into millions. I mean, you're seeing strong growth, right? Last 12 months in total revenue, 234 million. So their price to sales ratio is like 1 point something. Current price to sales ratio is current 1.85. Okay, okay. Let's look at quarterly really quick. Are there analysts? Much analysts don't follow this company. Do we have 4 valuations? No. Yeah. I'm just curious to see, do they have earnings? Free cash flow positive? Let's go to the negative free cash flow. Do they have total cash? Do they have, let's look at short-term debt and long-term debt. So negative and free cash flow. We don't need that anymore. We don't need this. I mean, they got a lot of interesting, right? TSI, interesting. With the data center market going where it's at right now, I could see why people would be excited about that one, but it's super small. Obviously, we would have to do more. So, all right. So let's continue with enough. That's because, yeah, I think but I have a nice amount of, yeah, Nvidia's too. I don't think but I still like Nvidia. I mean, sitting at a forward PE ratio, Nvidia is still one I don't mind dollar cost averaging. The one I really want to just go even heavier on is AMD. All right, so let's see. Sage Spectre, I subscribe. Welcome, subscribe. Thank you for subscribing. Michael, Intel is up. Yeah, Intel got a few price target hikes today. I think there were 2 analysts that increased their price target on Intel. First was HSBC, no, Seaport. Both Seaport and HSBC, I think, gave today in the last 24 hours some bullish sentiments for Intel. They mentioned that Panther Lake should be able to win back market share from AMD in the CPU space. Panther Lake also showcases that 18A is going well, which pushes good for their manufacturing push. And then strong demand in server CPUs. Strong demand in server CPUs plus the Meta news, I think it's also kind of bullishing AMD right now. This guy says, I'm not a member on, thank you. AMD will make good money. I can only afford 500 shares of AMD, and Scout says only. That's the great thing about investing, right? It's everybody's money perspective is different. For someone, 500 is amazing. That's a big position, right? That's almost $100,000, I think, on AMD, a little bit over. That's a lot of dough, right? But remember, for some people, maybe 100K is nothing. For me, 100K is still something. Are you more bullish on AMD than Broadcom? Ryan, I would say yes, Ryan. I am more bullish on AMD than Broadcom. I think it's just more of just market opportunity, right? I think Broadcom already has some nice big orders from TPUs, right? Google's already a massive order. Obviously, they're going to have other players out there, but for some reason, AMD still hasn't seen that nice influx of GPU market sales, and I think it's coming. And I think when that happens, you're going to see a stronger reaction on the stock price. But that doesn't mean I'm bearish on Broadcom. I think Broadcom will still outperform the market. I think it outperformed the market for the past few years. I think that's still going to be the story. I just have a lot. Now, the risk to reward ratio on AMD is either it outperforms or it underperforms. But AMD is there for me. Let's see. AMD, Michael, AMD is going to drop to 200 and wouldn't be buying over 200. It's overbought. The tech, the bought over sector. That's staying away from tech and Bitcoin. Michael, I can see that, right? I mean, but $200 was that a 15% decrease at current levels? That's still about a 320 market cap. In the long term, for someone like me that believes this is $1 trillion company, from 300, if I miss out by not buying in 380 because I wanted to buy at 320 market cap and it does go to $1 trillion, I feel like I lost out more there. Again, I wouldn't be dumping the truck on AMD right now, Michael. Right? I mean, AMD for me was one that I bought plenty and plenty below 100s. I mean, my first entry was in the single digits for AMD. But it would be more that I just want to add a little bit more and more. BMNR is down because Tommy Lee is crazy. This is one I don't follow. And it, as a YouTuber or someone who focuses on YouTube, it's crazy when there's a stock that, like, if you post a video on this, you get so many views. I decided to stay away. This is something I wasn't that excited. I know a lot of people started discussing on it. Now, it's, I guess to me, Big Mine is what many people look at CoreWeave to me, right? Many people probably won't even talk about CoreWeave because it seems too crazy. I think BitMine to me seems crazy. Ryan Walker, could you rank your favorite Max 7 stocks for us? Number 1 would be Nvidia. Number 2 would be, number 2 to 4, Ryan, would be they can change pretty quickly. I think they're kind of neck and neck to each other. But I'm going to go with where I'm at right now. Number 2 would probably be Amazon. Number 3 would be Meta Platforms. Number 4 would be Microsoft. Number 5 would be Google. And this is formal valuations at the moment. So it's crazy. Then would be Tesla. Then would be Apple. That's even more of like where I would be adding right now. But as an overall business, I think Nvidia is the best business, and I think Google is the second best business. My previous ranking, Ryan, was on like valuation attractiveness right now, but as a business overall, Nvidia number 1, Google number 2, Amazon number 3, Microsoft number 4, Meta number 5, Tesla, and then Apple. I hate Apple in all regards. Bought Tiger and Pags and Zebra today. Michael, that's interesting names. Never really heard of any of them. Do you think AMD will ever hit $2 trillion market cap stage, Spectre? I mean, it's not impossible, right? If you get about a 40 PE ratio, I mean, a 40 earnings per share. I mean, they expect 20 earnings per share. If the AI market is as crazy as it is, yes. Now, to me, I think AMD hitting a $2 trillion market cap, there has to be some crazy changes. I think $1 trillion, I believe there's success there. $2 trillion, you have to tell me a lot more of what's happening, right? So I can see a road to $1 trillion. I can definitely see a road to $1 trillion. Can I see a road to $2 trillion? I think at the moment where we're at right now, it's more of dreams than actually seeing the road, right? It's more of hallucination, if that makes sense. So based on what we're seeing, I think $1 trillion is possible. Let's see, what else do we have? I don't have enough Micron. Is it weird that Micron scares me? MU scares me a lot. It scares me so much. This is one of those stocks that, I mean, if you look back in my videos, I saw the bullish thesis at 70, at 80. I mean, just 2 years ago, right? We were not even a year ago. We were sitting in those 80s, right? Like I saw the bullish case, but it just scares me. I don't know why. And now I think it's the hype that scares me. Before it was something else. Now it's the hype. But congratulations. I mean, I missed out on this one dramatically, even though I perfectly saw the bullish case. I think sometimes the historicalness of the memory market creates a form of shackle that doesn't allow me to sometimes go into something. Why is it bad news for CoreWeave? What is bad news for CoreWeave? I think right now it's just been all AI stocks have fallen. I think all high beta names are falling. I don't think there's any real news. Just the market is a little bit more fearful because these are the ones that, if things go bad, are going to be the ones that are more volatile, right? So if you're talking about the current market volatility, again, just look in the past month. 13%, even with the 6% drop. AMD, that Trump will get them when his earnings. AMD earnings are 2 weeks from now. AMD earnings. Or is it 3 weeks from now? Did they report it yet? Have they given us an earnings date? No, they haven't yet. Oh, yes. So they're expected to report earnings on February 3rd, Tuesday. I'm pretty excited for this. I might do a live stream for certain earnings. Um, I'm just Michael. You keep jumping around that I don't know which you are talking about. Sorry, Michael. I'm just reading the chat here, so I'm going in order of chat. So Shri, in data center space, and they work closely with Dell. TSS. Okay. Now let's go to the next question. So Google, Amazon. Okay, so this is your top Max Evans. Google, Amazon, Meta, Nvidia, Broadcom is most of my portfolio. That's actually I like that portfolio a lot. I mean, I think that's it's crazy because those are big players, but I think these big players will outperform the market. Can you please also screen what's going on, Sadaf? Can you please also screen CCOI? CCOI stock. First, just curious what this is. Market cap of $1.4 billion. I mean, I guess if we can just closely look at numbers. What was the ticker again? CCOI. I don't know what they do. They do some form of communications. But let's look. Just quick look at total cash and cash equivalents, 226 million. Let's look at long-term debt. A lot of long-term debt. Let's look at, is there revenue growth? Definitely not. There's revenue decline on a quarterly basis. All right. So I don't like their balance sheet. And with that balance sheet, their revenue looks non-growing. And then just curious, quick look at free cash flow. You're extremely negative in free cash flow. I wouldn't touch this company with a 100, 200,000 foot pole. Just based on that, right? I mean, it's high debt, low cash, burning money, not seeing any revenue growth. What is there to life? I don't know if it's going bankrupt, but I just wouldn't touch this one. Forward PE wise, let's see, Michael, I thought when we were talking about TSS, I did show the ticker before it. But this is what sucks about not having the chat available to me, because I can't just show the question. Normally I show the question and everybody can follow along to that question. Sadaf, next question. Thoughts on Oracle? I mean, Oracle, let's look at Oracle stock. So Oracle, I mean, you have the bullish take, right, of AI infrastructure. If they are growing at insane levels, they have massive deals, that massive RPO, right? The massive RPO they have with OpenAI. They've also mentioned they have RPO with other players like Nvidia. I forgot the other names, but they gave us other names, so we don't think that they're only with OpenAI. If you believe the AI infrastructure story is real, if you believe the AI story is real, Oracle can definitely benefit. The other thing that they can benefit with the AI story is they do have pretty strong database solutions, which is crucial for a lot of these enterprise players to kind of use AI in their own unique way. So that's kind of like a little secret sauce. So if you like Oracle for the AI infrastructure, you're definitely there. The biggest risk with Oracle, right? If we look at, let's look at fiscal.ai. With Oracle, the biggest, they have massive debt, right? Let's look at Oracle. We're looking at Oracle here. I'm trying to say it as often as possible for Michael. Um, Total revenues is improving, right? You're seeing revenue growth, but in forms of total cash and in forms of long-term debt. Let's remove total revenue. That doesn't look good, right? That's I think that's one of the scary things about Oracle right now is that massive debt. But if you believe the AI story is real, this will pay off. Now, I'm curious to see what its valuation is trading at. Because typically, right, you can get Meta like 21 forward PE ratio. You can get Microsoft at like 27. Because of this massive debt, I would like to give Oracle a cheaper valuation. It's trading around 25, right? So now the question is, do you pay 25 forward PE ratio for Oracle? Would you rather pay 27 forward PE ratio for Microsoft? Would you rather pay like a 30 forward PE ratio for Amazon? Or would you rather pay a 28 forward PE ratio for Nvidia? I think that's the biggest thing now with Oracle. It's like the opportunity with Oracle. Can I get that opportunity with a stronger company um, at a better valuation and at a safer place? Um, I definitely fell for the BMNR hype, Oak. All right, so this is the next question I'm looking at from Oak on Athletics. Yeah, again, luckily, I think 2020 really helped me remove myself from just following too many people, um, and just sticking to what I know. I think that was one of my biggest mistakes in end of 2020 is following everybody, following as much as possible. And then I was like, you know what? Screw it. I know what I know. I know the semiconductor space. I know I can learn about the AI industry due to it. And that's where I'm going to focus my space in. Mr. Brown, what percentage of your portfolio is AMD? AMD, I would say it's above 10 right now. Um, Due to the growth in other players, it's not 20. It's probably between 10 to 15%. I wouldn't mind being like 20 to 25%. I made with Micron 100% and sold. Pandora. I mean, making 100% is great. It's okay. If I personally, if you can make 100% in less than a month, in less than 2 months or 3 months, I don't think selling is, even if the stock continues to go up, I mean, 100% is a lot of money. Are there any high conviction holdings that you believe have room to run 100% still? Schneider. I mean, for me, CoreWeave, easily. CoreWeave is probably the one I think this is gonna be. It seems crazy. I get so much hate for CoreWeave. I think CoreWeave is a $200 billion opportunity. So with that math, that's a four. It has to 4x from here. All right. So CoreWeave is one of those. I've made it one of my biggest positions. Crazy enough, I mean AMD as well. AMD is one of my biggest positions, and I believe this is $1 trillion company. So 3x potential around from here. Um, and Nvidia, I can see this being a $10 trillion player if the robotics market picks up extremely quickly. I think the robotics market needs to pick up really quickly, or the healthcare market. Those two markets need to pick up extremely within the next 12 to 16 months. And I could see not within 12, 16 months hitting $10 trillion, but that needs to happen to make that path possible, which will be a two bagger. So those are ones I really do see as a multi-bagger opportunity still. Um, then you still have like your Nebius, right? Nebius, I think it's also there. I think anybody in the AI infrastructure can be a multi-bagger. Ryan, how much do you think Nvidia's market cap will grow to? Pretty good. I mean, for Nvidia, right, at the end of the day, it really depends now, Ryan, in the innovation of AI. AI needs to continue to innovate. We need to continue to see the robotic space. We need to continue to see improvements in the healthcare, right? If we start to see constant medicines being made with AI technology or personalized AI, personalized uh, drug plans for people crazy disease. I think those two markets, the robotics and healthcare markets, can open up a massive amount of opportunity for Nvidia. Uh, so it can run. It all depends on innovation in AI space. Max, let's see, Max. I think upcoming years there'll be a ton more hype than now. This isn't even the beginning. I agree. I mean, we only have 8-second AI videos. What happens when we have a 1-minute AI video? It's gonna go crazy. Mr. QQQQ crash. Is the QQQ crashing? I like that. Mr. QQQQ crash. Down 1%. What's going on? Please loosen your thoughts on EMS. Please loosen my thoughts. Let me loosen my thoughts. Energy system. What do? They provision storage energy solutions for industrial applications worldwide. I mean, do you want me to look at the financials really quick to be designed, built? I'll just share my thoughts on that, right? Um, I don't know the company, so I can't go on the company. We'll just look really quickly on numbers. Let's just start off with forward valuations. I typically like to look at forward PE ratios because I'm a huge believer that the market is 100% looking into the next 12 months. Now, what I do with this is this it? Forward PE ratio? Why does it look like this? I've never seen a forward PE ratio look like this. Is it that just not many people are following it? All right, this forward PE ratio looks weird. I mean, it's trading at its top levels. That would be the first thing. So valuation is higher than it normally is. The median is 11.75. It's trading much higher. Now, just because it's trading much higher doesn't mean it's necessarily bad, right? You just have to understand why is it trading much higher. And right now we're looking at ticker ENS. For those that are familiar, it was just a quick question to be designed, posted on. Now, all right, so it's trading at a heavier ratio. We have to find out why. Let's look at that revenue base. Is it growing at strong levels? For PE, looking at total revenue. I personally, I mean, if you were to tell me, Jose, this is a growing business, no, it's not a growing business in regards to revenue. So it's definitely not a growing business. But it doesn't have to be growing revenues. Is it growing in margins? Is margins improving? Could that be its niceness? And not really, right? I mean, I guess overall in the long term, you can see gross profit margins are in kind of like a little bit, but I wouldn't call it, right? So let's look at earnings per share. Diluted earnings per share. Let's remove revenue. Let's look at last 12 months because you might have sequential basis. All right. So it was growing its revenues, diluted earnings per share, but there has been a bit of a pullback lately. Why was it growing? Right. And again, we're only looking at financials, but these are the questions that come up. Why was it growing dramatically in 2024? Why did earnings per share drop? Why is it dropping now? Right. Where is that money going to? What slowdown happened? So if I was an investor of that, that would be my question. Learn the lore of why the growth in 2024, learn why the drop in 2025. Because if you don't know that lore, if you don't know that research, you're going to start to get scared of it dropping. It could be unrelated to anything, right? It could just be some one-time charges. Now let's look at total cash and total cash equivalents. So 388 million in total cash. And let's kind of look at long-term debt. So they're definitely, I mean, we saw it was a company that's been profitable. Typically, long profitable companies tend to have long-term debt over time. Not a huge fan of their balance sheet, though, right? Not a big fan of it, especially since they're not growing that much. The final thing is I would look at is free cash flow. Free cash flow is improvement. Okay, why? Again, going back to that lore story, why was there a decline in free cash flow in 2024 and 2025? Why a change-up story here in this quarter? Is this a one-time thing, or is this the beginning of something new? Right, to be designed. Those are questions you would like to have answered when you're looking at charts like this. This is what I use financials for, is to, if obviously financials tell you a part of the picture, But to understand why it's happening, I think is how you build your thesis. Why did the decline happen? Were they building capacity? Again, I don't know what the company does, but were they building capacity for something? Did they build all the capacity that they need and now they stopped investing? And now we're going to see a huge influx of free cash flow because they're not going to be doing a massive capex. Why did they need that capex? Was that capex crucial for growth revenue driver? If so, why aren't we seeing the revenue growth driver with it? Um, so yeah, probably a little bit there. Sadaf. Um, see, Sadaf, I wish I Sadaf is giving me here. I bought Micron at 84 and 88 because you started talking about them highly. Agree. I mean, I even talked about it in my videos. I was bullish on the business aspect. They talked about it so much, and sold at 210. It was a good trade, but I could have done better. I mean, definitely, but 210 is still good. That's what almost a three bagger. Um, been looking into Marvell. Also, I've been researching Credo. Ethan, we've actually just started. Weird. Ethan is my little one's name, so I said it like if I was screaming at him, not screaming, but like calling him. It's funny how a name can change someone's perspective. Um, but been looking into Marvell. Also, I've been researching Credo. I actually just started a quick deep dive on Credo this morning. Um, I don't have how much of your thesis in chip is I guess for Marvell, how much of your thesis is their chip design versus networking solution? What do you think of their recent acquisition? So for Marvell, uh, Ethan, it's interesting. The chip design is the multi-bagger opportunity for me, right? I think that's where you can see if they win a big contract, it's gonna and it does a massive upside on numbers. It's going to be with the chip design. So that's the multi-bagger potential. I think their networking solution is the core business that they can do really well with, right? I mean, they have various recent and with the recent acquisition of Celestial, I think they're going to push more into scale up with optics. So that's a core business that also has growth revenues. But I think that's something that can just help Marvell kind of like outperform the market slowly or be a nice growth driver overall. The ASIC or the chip design market is the multi-bagger opportunity, if that makes sense, right? I hope that makes sense there for Marvell. So I am excited of Marvell. Market cap of $70 billion. I think the AI market can push this. Let's see what other questions. How many single stocks versus ETF do you own? Are you more concentrated in single stocks? So Ryan, I hate looking at individual stocks because sometimes I like to make small plays, but I would say 5 stocks probably make up 60 to 70% of my portfolio, 50 to 60. 5 to 7 stocks make up a bulk of my portfolio. So you could see I'm concentrated in those single stocks. I do own ETFs. I do own semiconductor ETF, Max 7 ETFs. I own the S&P 500 and I own the Qs. But those ETFs, I would say altogether are probably like maybe 20% of my portfolio. So maybe 20% ETF, if I would say. My top 7 holdings, probably like 50 to 60, maybe even 70% of my portfolio. And then the rest are small plays. So lately I've been concentrated very heavily on the top names, and those are double digits. Um, I keep simple, 50% memory and 50% Nvidia. That's very simple. And I'm going to hope you do well. I mean, like I mentioned, the AI market, the memory market scares me. To be designed, built, 829, ENS, please. We looked at that one already. AI money, CoreWeave, 100%. Hensley, are you not concerned about CoreWeave's debt? I am not at the moment. At the moment, just like starting up any form of business, you're going to start off with heavy amount of debt or capex or financing. Everybody's doing it unique way, but at the end of the day, everybody's taking on debt, either being dilution of shares, either being interesting debt, or there's different types of senior notes as well, and everybody's doing it I think everybody's just looking at that as the bad thing, but I mean, dilution of shares is the equally as bad in my opinion. And maybe not, maybe because you're not paying interest. But regardless, whenever starting a business and whenever going heavy growth mode, you're going to start off with high debt. You want to build as much as possible. And then when those revenue drivers start going on, you're going to see that help pay down that debt. And I think that's what's going to happen. CoreWeave has massive AI infrastructures. That revenue is going to grow dramatically. They have a great partnership with Nvidia. They are now no longer just doing your traditional debt. They're also going in kind of convertible senior notes. They're also, which are a lot lower interest. They're also, I'm going to guess eventually they're going to do form of debt. Everybody's doing it, right? So everybody looks at Corey for forms of debt, but everybody's is destroying their balance sheet one way or another as this AI infrastructure builds out from convertible notes, from dilution of shares, or traditional. So I'm not too concerned. I saw an article that said Nvidia could rise, Fuso, this is interesting, that could rise by over 1,000%. So 10x in 5 or 10 years. I don't know. I mean, that's ultimate bullish. I don't know. That's that would be a $40 trillion company. I don't know if I don't know if I would ever back that right now. Lots of haters on this chat. What's going on, Big Al? What are people hating on? Hopefully, um, I hopefully didn't see too much concern. Oracle is a must buy, Matt. I think, and I guess it depends, right? I think it all depends on where you go, right? Some people might go Oracle route and build the AI infrastructure way that way. Some people might go the CoreWeave route. Some people might go the Nebius route. But I would say the end story, most of these are just going to go up with the AI infrastructure play. So you might not be bullish in Oracle, but if you own CoreWeave or if you own Nebius, you're going to want success on Oracle, right? Because it does mean if the unsuccess happens to Oracle, it means you're most likely going to see some painfulness on your stocks as well. AM Money, Jose, we've had a healthy debate about Cerebra in our forum. Your thoughts on their approach, fully integrated AI chip system. Have you done research about them? I have not, AI Money, and I did see you post something. And this is the great thing about the community, right? The community, you have a lot of different people just posting, and you hear communication. You have discussions on different thoughts. It's not just purely me. So if you want, make sure to check out AI What the Chip Happened. Use code 2026 to get 33% off on the annual subscription. We have a lot of earnings coming next week. Deep dives are going to go heavy. Um, the Big Show, Big Slow, new CEO recently, and yes, is picking up visibility on ENS. It's trading higher with the new CEO. Insider buying as well. Awesome. I thank you for those quick updates. Maybe somebody was curious on ENS. I'm just pulling the ticker here so we can all understand where we're at. ENS. I'm answering this question from the Big Slow. Now, let's go here. Where were we? Ethan. Again, it's too funny. Let me make it bigger so maybe you guys can see it as well. What's going on, Matt? Holy crap, Jose. What's going on, Matt? How's it going? That is awesome. Dude is chilling with the video. All right. Ethan investing. I agree on CoreWeave. There is 100% of demand for AI focused cloud. To me, it's the same. I buy AWS in the early days. I think they could get to 10 gigawatts eventually, which is about $92 billion ARR, right? I think for this end of this year, they're expecting, I think, 2.9 gigawatts, if I remember correctly, by the end of this year. That 2.9 is insane. I mean, how quickly they're going to stand things up. Obviously, you're going to hear things about delay, but now that in 12 months, I think in 12 months, they want to put up to 2.9 gigawatts or 2.4. I forget the actual number. We're talking about CoreWeave now. That is going to be crazy. And hold on, I hear my little one screaming, Ethan. So let me just make sure the babysitter is okay. All right. Yeah, she seems good so far. Okay. I have about 6 minutes here, guys. 6 minute, the 5 minute timer. Make believe there's a timer right here. 5 minutes. Dun, 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 dun. Um, Pan Pandur. Nvidia has effectively booked out HBM supply from SK Hynix, Micron, and now Samsung's. The others don't just have problems with scaling up. That's the thing, right? So that's one thing I've talked about it for Nvidia is they have so much money that they're able to lock in a nice amount of the supply chain, and that prevents the other players from growing. Now, obviously, the other players also need to make sure that they provide some solutions for the competitors because at one day they are going to need them. In a business, if I know I can sell 100% to one player, that sounds good, right? It's easy. But would I rather do 70% to one player and then 10% to this player and 10% to this player and 10% to this player? Because maybe that 10% player might become my 70% player in the next 10 years. And I want to make sure that we are on good standings. So I think good standings help businesses expand a little bit into other players. The big slow, they closed Mexico plant. Eric, are you familiar with AAOI? Is that a stock? Applied Optoelectronics. I feel like I've heard the name from my engineering days. I'm curious to see about their products. As a company, not. Yes, I think I have. Back in my engineering, I don't know if I screamed there. My apologies. I think back in my engineering days, I might have bought stuff from them. I can't say that I know them right now, Eric. Yvette, hi. Any thoughts on Silicon Motion? Simo. Um, how do you guys find all these super small companies? This is interesting. I won't do a deep dive on it, Yvette, right now. Because maybe just one thing. I'm just curious about what was the ticker? Simo? And I'll do the same for AAOI. I'm just curious about are they growing? I like growth revenue players. All right. So this is me the first thing, right? I would be they're not growing right now. Is there potential for them to grow? Let's see. What is the market expecting for them? December is actually expected to see a nice growth here. Curious to know why what's the bullish thesis here? Market expects a nice growth upcoming. Is that a long-term thing? Is that the inflection point? Is it something that would help them? And same with Applied. Applied, I'm gonna guess due to the overall market and the need of optics, you're seeing growth revenue. So I like this already, right, Eric? We're looking at AAOI. I'm gonna guess if we look at upcoming quarters, you're expecting another growth. Yep, and then another growth upcoming here. Yep, I like this a lot. My best guess is it's trading expensive, right? Let's look at forward PE ratios. Let's just curious here. Yeah, I would say just with any optics company and most memory companies too, it's just like just the valuation match the risk to reward ratio. That's where the deep dives go into, right? To understanding more about it. But AAOI optics getting a lot of growth right now. CMO, Yvette, we're expecting some growth in December. Why is that growth happening? And where is it going to go? Engage with your audience. All right. So let me just say hi really quick. I only have about 2 minutes. So what's going on? Matt, what's going on? Big Buck, Jose, let's hope you had a nice weekend. I did, Big Buck. I hope you had a nice weekend as well. I hope everybody had a nice weekend, even though the market is a little bit wanky today. I hope everybody did. Hey, Jose Naharro, not sure if you're a fan of price targets, but where do you think Nebius ends out by end of year? I'm usually not a fan of price targets. I would just say Rolex to me. Nebius and all the AI infrastructure players that I'm into, and so Nebius, I would say Nebius, CoreWeave, and Iron, I believe, are going to be market outperformers. That's the only thing. I'm not a fan of price targets, but outperformers for sure. Any thoughts on TTMI? I don't have any on that one. I don't think we can handle this one right now. Big companies are hoarding all the data center GPUs, so everyone else is forced to rent. It's the same vibe as gamers getting priced out of the market. But I don't think they're just hoarding them. I mean, there's the demand for that, right? It's demand. Let's see. Hi, Jose. Which photonics related companies will do well? I don't know. Right. Photonics, there's a lot of companies I want to do research on. Right now, this month, I want to do research on the memory space, not Micron, like other ways in the memory space. Next month, I want to do things in the robotic space. And maybe eventually we enter into the full photonic space. But again, those are some of the deep dives I will be covering in the overall platform. What the chip happened. Jose, you mentioned you were looking into Cerebras a year ago. Been waiting to hear your thoughts since then. You know, it's because they were gonna do the IPO. Can AV can CA. I don't know. I'm not even gonna go. And I don't know. I never looked into their filings that they did release them, and I think that's where I kind of stopped. Um, MRAM. Looking into memory. Schmidt. MRAM is so funny. My neighbor, I was just talking to him yesterday. My neighbor has been talking to me about MRAM for like the past 7 months, and that has done amazing. Maybe I should finally start into it. Yvette, Simo partnered with Nvidia. Nice. Um, skip to 245. What are we talking about here? Oh, okay, nice. Awesome, guys. All right, I need to go get the little one. I gave the 5-minute warning. I think what I'm going to do next is first, I got to add a counter. And every time we answer a question, we're going to put the counter up. The second thing is I'm going to add a timer to showcase that, hey, I got to be out by 12 because I need to go put the little one to take a nap and then probably finally get something to eat. But if the market sucks for you right now, I would just say stay calm. Long term, things are going to be okay, in my opinion. No guarantee, but just my opinion, not financial advice. Now it's time for me to awkwardly end the stream. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. I'll be on tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Like always, these live streams are just a quick Q&A session. If you want some deep dives and stuff, definitely check out the community. If anything, just subscribe to the channel. I do release daily videos. Um, and let me awkwardly end stream.